Hello guys, welcome back to our tutorial. Today I'm gonna talk about create and edit data. This is about if you want to create your own data in your database and do some customization to your map. This is how you're gonna do it. It's actually really important because sometimes, except for the data we gave you, you may need create some of your own data and and do some analysis with it. So let's just start. So the first one is creating features. I have some notes in here. So let's just start. Move to the ArcMap. So you will see in the first department database I put up public schools, highways, land cover, and DEM. Right? So it's like this. So let's just say, for example, if there is like a lake here, and let's say my site was kind of in here, I want to create my site boundary, and I want to create my site boundary, right? So what you have to do is, because there's no layers called site boundary in here. So what you have to do is create a new layer, new feature in your database. How we do it is just right click your database and there new and click feature class. Then give it the name, let's say studio site. And it should be, there are a lot of features you can do, and this one should be polygon. And then click next, and then they'll ask you to assign the coordinate system. So what I usually do is I click in here, there's add coordinate system, and there's a triangle, click the triangle, and there's import, and click it, and then you will find the features in your database. And because this data all line up, so what you need to do is just click on that one, click add. And then they will select them. Then they will assign the same coordinate system with the data in your database, so you will have no problem with it. And then next, and then the tolerance keep it default. Next, and there's an option to assign to add some new data in your table. So I think I need to assign a name in here. I just type a name and click finish. And when you're done, you will find that there's a new layer in your table of contents, and also called studio site, and also studio site is in my geo database. So it was in here, right? Okay. So if my site was around here, what should I do? What we need to do is to draw a shape in the map, on the map as my site boundary. So how to do that is, after you create a feature layer, you just right click the layer, and there's this one called edit feature, and then you can start editing. So when you start editing, there is like the toolbar here. You see start editing is gray. That means right now we are at the state of start editing, and there's some tools in here which I will talk about later. So what we're gonna do is, once you have this toolbar, so there is 3 buttons here. There's one called create feature. Just click it, then it will show up in here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna try to create a polygon, right? So this is public schools, high schools, so we'll choose studio site. When you click it, then you have a lot of choice, right? So let's say I need a polygon. So when you click polygon, then you are able to draw things on the map. See here, I can draw some lines, right? And you can see it was a polygon. And make sure when you double click, then it's finished, right? And this is selection tool. You can just select it. If you click other place, just cancel the selection. Okay, so it's pretty intuitive, I think. Also, you double click. You see here, there's like the nodes. You can move it. When you move it, you change the shape of a polygon. Right? Then double click. There you go. And also, there's another. So after you create the shape, you can actually assign values or add some information on this shape. So the way is in here, attributes. You click it. When you select the attribute, this polygon, it will show some, information you can enter. So the name is what I just set up. Let's just give a name like studio site, right? Okay. Then I want to finish this. So please remember, every time when you finish, adding features to your layer, please make sure you save the edits. Okay, if you don't save edits, sometimes you forgot to do that. Next time you open ArchiMap, they will disappear. So make sure you save it. So I save edits and then I stop editing. Make sure you stop editing. Okay, if you don't do that, there are a lot of function is not available to you. Okay, and there, you will have a lot of errors. Okay, so then I can look at the table. You can see here, this is the shape I just drew. Okay, so I created my own shape. Okay, it goes in here. All right, let me change to hollow. Okay, there you go. But sometimes I need to do something like that's just like sometimes not just like a studio site. I may need some points. So let's just like right click again, create new and feature class. So I'd like to create some like landmarks. So let me just give it as a point feature. Click next and import just whatever one and click next, and let me give it a name. Also I can give it like a number. This is text, and also I can give you like significance. I can assign a number to here. Click finish. So landmark was here. So the same thing. I just need to edit feature, start editing. Click the landmark, click continue, and here create features. And I can click landmark and this point. I just just click, then the points will be here. Okay, and also I can give them name like this one attributes. I can give the name like for example this is gems and give a significance like 5 and this is like 4. We give a significance 3 and this is, let me name it like Nick, give a significance 1, and this I can give like 5 I'll name as Michael Mick. Give significance 2. Good enough. So just make sure save it and stop editing. And then when you open up the table, this is all the contents I entered in there. I can do some symbology. I can based on significance, I can give them some color. Well, you can make like property for all symbols. You can make the size bigger. Then you see here, the points will look bigger, right? And you have different color because significance level are different. So I just illustrated how to do this with polygons and points, and you can still do lines, okay, as much as you want. All right. Oh, okay. Next, calculation in the table. Okay, let's do for calculation. Let me just use like let me use block group in here. So there's all the block group, right? So what block group do? What calculation do was, you see here, there's a lot of data in here, right? For example, this is a population in 2010, and this square mile of the district, right? So what if I'd like to calculate the population density per square mile? What should I do? You can actually calculate this in this table. It's like Excel sheet. Okay, you can like easily doing that. So what you need to do, just first add a field from here, and you can click, let's say density 2010, and there's like, make sure the type, there are different kind of type, right? Make sure this should be float. I click OK, and then you will show up here, right? And then you will find this is empty, right? Oh, by the way, you see here the shape, length, and shape area. You will find out like there's these numbers, right? Just one thing to remember is since all the database, the coordinate system in your database, so all the shape, length, and shape area you will find in your data, it's all with a unit of feet, okay? US feet, okay? It's not meter, it's feet. All right, so let's go back to density. So what we're gonna do is right click, and there's one called calculate, field calculate. Just click it, click yes, and then you will find out all the, see this, these are all the items in the table. So what we're gonna do is pretty easy actually. Just get the population of 2010 and click divide, and there's a square mile, right? Then we got the density per square mile, and click OK. Then JS will calculate for you. Pretty cool, right? So let's see. So let me see whether or not we can see that in symbology. There you go, it's density 2010. Click it, add all values, and that's all the density. Alright, let's change another color. There you go. So this just shows the density. Alright, pretty cool to me. Saving and exporting. So one so one thing you need to remember is like every layer you made. For example, I change the symbol, right? I make it bigger, and you know my block data have like the color I define, right? Which is like this. Well, let me change to other. Let me change it by quantities here. Okay, right? So I have my own. For example, I'd like to change it to hollow, right? So I have some my own setup, but how to save this, right? Because next time when you close your ArcMap and you open your ArcMap again, there's nothing showing up in your table of contents. You have to drag this data back again and double click do symbology again, right? You cannot for example, let me change the color of the row. Let me change it to, for example, change to red. There you go. Oh, I think it's too much. Let's change the and make it. There you go. So please remember, every time after your work, just save your map. Okay, it's actually really easy. All you can do is just let's save. Just click save, and let me save to my folder. And you will have a file name with the extension of MXD. Okay, so MXD is a map data type of GIS. All right. So let's say let me save it. Let's say GIS tutorial and click save. And then you will find out it was in here, GIS tutorial, right? But you will notice that this file only has the size of 300 KB. So sometime I have experience that some of my students, they think all the data is stored in this file, so that he just delete everything else and just keep this one. That's not the case. Okay, this file is just help you figure out the symbology. All right, it's just saving the symbology. If you lost your database here, even though you have your map file, you still will not open it. Okay. Let me just save this and close my file and see what happens when I open it up. Let me just open this one. Alright, you will find out that when I open that file, it's exact same like setup, or the layers are the same, colors are the same, even the extent of the map is the same. Okay, so that's why you want to save. Okay, all right. So we finished this one, and also there's students asking me how to export if you want to GIS map and you want to do some drawings or make your board and do design with it. You cannot do a lot of stuff in GIS, right? Because it's a big file and you want to move into AutoCAD, Illustrator, Photoshop, right? So usually what I do is really simple but effective. Okay, there are a lot of ways to export and save as, but I tend to you can print. That's cool, but I don't recommend to do that. What I usually do is just export a map. Here, export a map. And when you export, let me choose my folder. Yeah, and you can give a name. I just name it GIS tutorial. And there's a lot of file type, right? But I strongly recommend you use PDF. Okay, and you can change the resolution, right? So just click save. So wait a minute. Okay. So you'll find out in this folder I have the PDF here, right? When I open it, there you go. You will see this is the map I have, right? What usually I do is I will open up Illustrator. Okay. So Illustrator is open. You just click open and choose and go to your file and choose this PDF. Alright? We click open. You will find out the map. You'll get the map in here, right? But the cool thing about this is it's not just an image, okay? When you look at the content, it stores all kind of information, alright? For example, this layer they store like all kinds of block data. When I select this one, what I do is I can release them and group them and double click. You'll find out all this data actually editable, right? You can move. You see here, it's basically line drawings that you can change, you know. Let's say if you want to change the color or something like that, you want to change the color, right? You can change the color. You can change the color you want. What kind of color you want, right? You can do anything, okay? So I think this was pretty cool. Strongly recommend you export as PDF and open in Illustrator, and then you can move back and forth to AutoCAD, to Photoshop, anywhere you want. This is basically the workflow that I think is pretty efficient in here. Okay, so I think this is the end for today. I will see you next time. If you have any question, please let me know. Thanks.